Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now, Nsoatreman received a grand welcome from hundreds of residents in Nsoatre in the Bono region. Following their triumphant FA Cup title win, Maxwell Cornelius' team emerged as champions of this year's MTN FA Cup, defeating Bofokotano on penalties in the final on Sunday. Now, at the University of Ghana Stadium, after a 1-1 draw in 120 minutes, Nsoatreman showcased their prowess in a penalty shootout to secure the trophy. Now, the victory celebrated at the University of Ghana Stadium marks the first time the club won the domestic competition since the inception. The people of Nsoatre turned out in large numbers to celebrate their historic achievement, expressing immense pride in their team. Now, following their victory, Nsoatreman will represent Ghana in the next season's CAF Confederations Cup, where they will hope to follow in the stead of Dreams FC and possibly do better than they did, making it all the way to the semi-finals. Now, let's get to Kumasi Asante Kotoko now, because Steve Mukwala, Richmond Lamte, and Enoch Morrison have become the latest players to depart the club following a disappointing sixth-place finish in the Ghana Premier League. Now, 18 players have already parted ways with the Kumasi-based club, with some being due to contract termination and others expiration of same. Now, the departures forms part of the club's plan to restructure the playing body ahead of next season. Love FM Stephen Zando has more in this report.
3 key players of Asante Kotoko have joined the list of players leaving the club this summer. Top striker Stephen Mukwala, deputy captain Richmond Lamte, and versatile midfielder Enoch Morrison have all parted ways with the club. For Ugandan striker Mukwala, he's out of contract at the club, and the player couldn't reach an agreement during the extension talks, reason both parties agreed to part ways. For Richmond Lamte, it is left with few weeks of his contract to expire, but the player pleaded with Kotoko to let him leave as he doesn't have the appetite of continuing his football career here in Ghana. Kotoko granted the request and released the player. For Enoch Morrison, who was on red-hot form in the last few games before the end of the 2023-24 football season, head coach Dr. Prosper Gumnati informed the club hierarchy that he cannot work with him in the seasons ahead due to some acts of indiscipline he displayed in the course of last season. The IMC and the Palace were convinced of Ogum's explanation and recommendation of the player and began the process of terminating his contract. The club informed the player today of the decision they have taken, and Morrison will join the list of players leaving Kotoko, taking the number to 21.
Now to the Ghana Football Association, where the technical director of the association, Professor Joseph Kwame Minta, has revealed the association's dream of dominating world football with its elite talent identification and development program. The program, which was launched in 2023, sets out to identify and develop the best talented youth players, both male and female, in the country to form the base of the various national teams. Now, speaking on the sidelines of the FIFA Knowledge Exchange Workshop in Accra earlier this week, Professor Minta assured of the association's commitment to the project and overall objective of the program.
Let me start with the long-term objective. The whole long-term goal or target is to unearth talents, develop talents, and develop the youth for our youth national team so that you can feed into the senior national team. For the short-term project is to scout the northern regions, the 3 northern regions, in terms of the talent that they have, Upper East, Upper West, and Northern region, and put them in the academy, which is set up in Congo with Bolga Secondary School, Big Boss. We have already started the process to establish a second one in Ashanti region, Kumasi specifically, which will comprise of Bron-Ahafo region and then Ashanti region. Students recruited from the basic schools to that academy. And then the same year, this 2024, we are opening another one in Greater Accra region. Hopefully it will be in Pram. Then going forward, the target is to get every region one academy. So in all, we are looking at the 10 regional football regions. So maybe in the next 5, 6, 7 years, each region will have its own academy. And that is where you can assemble all the best talents for each region. And then from there, we tap from the pool, and then they feed the youth national teams, and then grow to be part of the senior national teams. for both boys and girls. My long-term goal is that Ghana should not run out of talent. Ghana should be the chain. The supply chain should keep going. And as a result, our target is to be in the World Cup and, if possible, conquer the world.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Dome-Kwebenya constituency, Sarah Josepho, has called on the Sports Ministry to pay more attention to the emerging sports disciplines in the country. Now, reacting to a report on the floor of Parliament by the Sports Minister, Mustafa Yusuf, on the African Games, the MP urged the Minister to invest in the construction of basketball courts to help develop talent in the area, as has been done for soccer with the AstroTurfs.
It is the first time we've hosted it. I want to urge the private sector. Government cannot do it all. Government cannot do it all. So I was happy when the minister stated that indeed they had a lot of sponsorship or some sponsorship from the private sector, and then he went on to list a few. Mr. Speaker, I think that he should engage more of the private sector to invest in the sector. Mr. Speaker, as a country, we seem to be focusing too much on soccer, but there are other sporting activities. Mr. Speaker, you would agree with me that we're focusing emphasizing or over-focusing on sports. I think that there are other sporting activities that need a lot of investment, like table tennis, lawn tennis, running, and nowadays the young people are more also interested in the American American sports. So, I will urge the Minister for Sports that we should move a little bit away from the traditional sporting activities that we are putting money into and look at the other emerging sporting activities. I know Nigeria is doing well when it comes to basketball. A lot of their students are getting scholarships to go to study in the United States and in Canada using that route of sporting activity, or basically basketball. I know that a few have been constructed, but I would urge the Minister that as we do the AstroTurfs, as we do more of those investments, we should also think about how we are going to improve our basketball courts for the young ones.
Yeah, just a bit of domestic Bayern Munich business. Vincent Kompany has been busy. He put some wingers on their shopping list. Serge Gnabry, Bayern mainstay, has been one of those players. Well, Michael Olise, Crystal Palace winger, he will be joining Bayern Munich this summer. The deal is done. The 22-year-old, other teams have been interested in him. Manchester United, other teams in the Premier League, but he's opting to come under the umbrella of Vincent Kompany. 10 goals in 6 appearances, 6 assists in 19 appearances during a breakout season for Crystal Palace. I think, Vincent Kompany basically has been given the keys to Bayern Munich. This is going to be one of his first pieces he brings on. I wish him all the success in the world, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of time to see who else Bayern Munich and Vincent Kompany decide to add to their roster.
Chris, thanks very much. Much appreciated. That's Chris Arrington joining us all the way from Berlin, Germany, with the latest happening in Germany, regards to the European Championship and also transfers within the local domestic top flight there. Well, that's what we got for you on Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbat. We've got more stories on myjoyonline.com. Please do log on there. Well, have a wonderful evening.